There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. Coin flip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenient store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
And we're live, bro. How goes it?
I'm well, man. I'm well. Appreciate the invite. Great to see you again.
Thanks for coming back on, man. It's been a while, dude.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Hey, if you guys are watching this live, by the way, on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and all that good stuff. I give away $10 worth of Bitcoin every day. So today might be your day to win. All you have to do is like and comment. Today I'm talking with my bro Peter. We're going to be talking about a plethora of things, honestly, but I kind of wanted to focus a little bit on what you've been doing recently. So, introduce yourself maybe a little bit to the people and let them know what you're into, so we can start the ball rolling on that topic.
Yeah, awesome, man. Definitely. So, Ken, more importantly, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me on. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Peter Ohanyan, aka Mr. Live, and I basically have been in the cryptocurrency space since late 2015. Have really primarily just been involved with investments in cryptocurrency. And up until recently, I actually have gotten into a company called Clear Cellular. And so what Clear Cellular is doing is basically providing a fully decentralized phone that you are able to have 100% control over your own data and your privacy. And with everything that's going on in today's space, with Facebook being sued and Google being sued and freedom fighters, and this is a huge movement that is really going on right now. And this company has been around for 11 years. They've been in R&D for 10 years with this product and have put over $200 million into making these three phones that they have right now.
First question, how the fuck are they doing that? You know what I mean? Like, right off the bat, that sounds amazing, but like, how? You know what I mean? Like, how is this device going to make sure I have access to the data and TikTok doesn't, you know?
Okay, very simply. So let's say, for example, when you open up a blockchain account and it's privatized to you, right? So who is the person what do you have to do first? What's the first thing that you do when you open up a blockchain account that's private to you? What is it?
Back up my keys.
Okay, right? So when you first get your phone, you get 12 words.
Okay.
Just like opening up
I answered it right. I'm so proud of myself. No, definitely. So it comes with its own, basically its own encryption. Each device is individually encrypted, not a blanket encryption, but a specific individual per device.
Right. Exactly.
So it's almost like holding a Bitcoin.
It is essentially something to do with that, and there is a cryptocurrency element that goes along with it as well. They're coming out with their own token called Clear Token, and so for everyday uses that people basically have, you're going to be able to also get paid for that as well in Clear Token.
Is that a pun on transparency?
No, but
sounds great for marketing though. Clear token, full transparent. Anyway, I see a purpose for a model like this where we're getting into tokenizing IoT, where the Internet of Things themselves are actually on the blockchain to provide less garbage in, garbage out user error or data dumps, you know, where you have a phone like an Android that's literally designed to give away data. That's its actual use, is to give away as much data that you do on it to all the applications that you have installed. Now we're having devices like what Clear is doing, where it's a little tables have turned, and I think that's actually going to create a really interesting economy opportunity for the end users, where apps that are used to making a business model off of that data, like Facebook, like you mentioned earlier, their business model is to get as much user data all day, every day, and then flip it, turn it out to advertisers and monetize that data. Once they start to get less of that, they're actually going to, I think, create a loyalty or rewards type of program where I can now on my Clear device click, yep, and give Facebook some data and let them pay me for that, since they're making money off of it. So we're kind of going to turn that table where I think Facebook might pay my Netflix bill eventually because of this.
Right. And here's the interesting part. Actually, when you actually do, so our plans are actually going to go live on January 20th. And when they go live, the biggest plan, which is actually $50 a month, includes 2 years of Netflix for free on the
That is amazing. All right, that's a win-win.
Right?
That's funny. I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually never paid a phone bill. Like my whole life, I only use voice over IP, Wi-Fi hotspots, the mobile data kind of like lifestyle. I have 3-4 smartphones I'm staring at. Never paid a bill for any of them. I just use Wi-Fi hotspots. So if my mom has Xfinity, hey mom, let me get your Xfinity hotspot code. Everywhere I go has an Xfinity hotspot. It's like I mean. But that's also me giving away all that data every time I connect to a hotspot, So to be able to, basically do that and keep my data at the same time, that would be a win-win for me. So like I have a device that doesn't do the data dump, but I can also hop on to random hotspots and still engage with platforms and do things.
Right. And so for right now, the plans themselves are essentially going to be just US based.
Just US?
Yeah, for now.
Is it 5G?
It will be 5G at some point. It's 4G right now.
Are the devices 5G ready? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, they're 5G ready,
but
sweet. They're not 4G. They're not 5G at the moment.
Right.
They're going to do 4G. So essentially, anyone around the world can gain access to these phones. And what they can do is they can literally just switch out their SIM cards and then use the service of wherever they are, and essentially be able to have privatized data and be able to have full privacy and control. Like when you actually see how much control you have over it from A to Z, it's a fully unlocked phone and you can customize everything.
I'm going to give them a sales pitch here, man. It's keep your data and keep your carrier.
Yeah, right? Seriously.
So that's basically like what I was saying, where I could just use the device and maybe not have the service plan or anything from them and just use what I was already doing, which was, Wi-Fi hotspots. Or if I had a plan with like Verizon or AT&T, I could get a device and just, swap the SIM in.
Exactly. I just got a message from the CEO. He said that he will be on in approximately 15 minutes.
Oh, cool. We can filibuster till then. That's awesome.
Exactly. So, the main reason why I actually got involved with this company is not because they have a great cell phone. And by the way, it's the biggest one they have is a 7.1 inch. It's got 128 megabytes or gigabytes rather as internal storage, but up to 2 terabytes for external storage.
Yeah, that's what I rock, a 2 terabyte external. So that's definitely good.
But it's got a 5,000 milliamp battery.
that's a big boy. So it's compatible with something like a Galaxy Note for those people that like the bigger phones, like the iPhone Pluses.
Correct. And it also has the way the cameras are stitched together, it comes out to a total of 108 megapixels and 6 gigabytes of RAM.
Nice. Wow, that's a nice. How much are the phones? I actually haven't seen. I didn't go to the website to check that out yet. But how much is like one of the cheaper phones for Clear, and what's like more of the premium line?
So essentially, the smallest phone is the 220. The 220 is about $489, and then that is basically that's like the phone that you would give to like your teenager, right, or to your kid or something like
Yeah,
that.
since we're talking about privacy and data and
Right.
owning all that, you don't need YouTube being able to manipulate your kid with fucking ads every time they search for something.
Exactly. And at the same time, you can customize all their privacy before you even hand them the phone.
Huh. Interesting. So, like, the parental controls thing can actually kind of go into that.
Yeah, huge, huge.
Yeah, that's a game changer, especially right now as kids are spending more time on their devices for school and social engagements. It's easy for somebody to send a link in some kind of like Minecraft chat and kind of, take some kid unknowingly to a devious website or something. So it would be nice to have some peace of mind knowing that, our youth is definitely going Tron. Like, they're in it now. And to be able to have that peace of mind where you don't have to constantly look over your kid's shoulder. Not just against, like, individual predators, but also the corporate ones that are stealing their data and then manipulating them with the fucking, say your kid's into Pokemon and they watch YouTube videos about Pokemon. Every time they go on TikTok, TikTok is intentionally feeding them Pokemon ads. And that's why they're like, I need it. Like, they're being manipulated and said, you're not happy unless you have this. And that's what's, kind of important at this point. Like, people are really, it's starting to become a forefront of a lot of, like, table conversations is like, do you use parental controls? Does your kid use YouTube or YouTube Kids?
Right. Exactly. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I have a 5-year-old, and every time like he sees something on TV, he's like, Daddy, I want to have that. And I'm like, hey, why don't we take you to an orphanage and show you what people have there, and then you can figure out exactly how happy you are with everything you have right now.
Right.
Because there's such a tremendous amount of entitlement, especially in America right now.
Well, it's perpetuated by the media, though. That entitlement was kind of, propagandized and implemented in a way that was supposed to keep us always poor, right? It's like, oh, your kid doesn't have Nikes? Like, yeah, oh, okay, so they go out and they get their kid Nikes, but does your kid have a savings fund or a college fund? Well, you can't see that. I can't show that off. You can't see that I'm a good parent with a college fund, but I could throw some Nikes on my 5-year-old and let them ruin them for some reason and then get mad at the kid for ruining shoes that I overspent. That's the cycle that media perpetuates, and I think we're starting to see, again, that conversation changing up, and people are starting to become more aware. They're cutting the cord, getting away from cable, getting away from things that actually, have ads. Even on YouTube now, I don't know many people that don't pay YouTube just to get rid of the ads. It's... I haven't seen a YouTube ad in so long just because it's so toxic to my, like, it makes me not even want to use YouTube if I see those ads, especially, like, the send 1eth, get 2eth scams. Like, they're so rampant on YouTube, and, so I hate ads. They trigger me. And I think that's happening to more and more people, starting to be more aware of that stuff. So these devices, and that's where I think it's really going to be important. It's not just at the software level of, like, the programs that you can implement, like VPNs and this and that. It's like the hardware level that you can incorporate this with the Clear device is pretty badass. Are they looking into integrating anything along like the Wi-Fi routers system? Because it seems like that would be in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, they are going to be coming out with a lot of things that are along the lines of that nature that are going to go essentially with the Clear phones themselves. The two highest ends, the 420 and the 620, are actually enabled for wireless charging right now. So those are already set for wireless charging and ready to go. And they have a device that they're coming out with for that purpose exactly, and another one that you can actually put in your car so it can charge your phone at the same time. And they're coming out with a smartwatch as well that goes with the Clear phone. So there's a lot of...
That smartwatch shit's really important, man, because people don't realize how much of that data gets leaked out and can be used against you, or just in general just can be played with and kind of, mess with you. Right. But, yeah, it's weird that people, like, I don't know, like, I don't wear a smartwatch because I know about all that, like, I don't need that data being recorded and all. It's weird. Has microphones on it. I can't even, but I want all the cool features of it. I just don't want all the bugs that come with it when it comes to like the lack of privacy and data ownership.
Exactly. And one of the crazy things that I found out, so when I was first watching the videos on Clear, I saw one about security and data. And so they went to the CNN website, standard CNN website, right? And on that CNN website, on a regular phone, on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, right? They were hitting, and they took a little bit of time to actually get into the website because of the fact that it loads so much of the ads and the ad tracking that goes with it, right? They went into Clear, in the same site in Clear, and bam, all of a sudden you were in like a split second. And I was like, well, what's the difference? The difference is because there's two buttons that come on the phone. One of the phones, if you push it, it'll tell you how many ad tracking it has blocked. And it blocks between 40 to 50 sites for CNN, and 4 of them were related to porn sites.
Holy shit.
Yep. So to like maybe the everyday person, that's not going to be such a big deal. But to parents, to kids, to people that are really against that kind of thing, that's really a big deal. So
yeah, and especially the more time we spend working online, all those distractions, any way to avert them is just, it's just great. I use Ad Blocker Plus. A lot of people really should just get Ad Blocker Plus for. I think it's free. I donated it like once a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure it was free. But yeah, I have and Brave Browser, using things like that, where you can actually earn. Seems like it would be kind of like a win-win deal to use like something like the Brave browser on a Clear phone. A lot of people don't realize just by using a browser like Brave instead of Chrome, you can earn cryptocurrency called BAT, Basic Attention Token. And that's truly the kickoff of the attention economy. And for that to work out, we need devices, whatever, like what Clear is doing, because if they're not, we could, the whole like garbage in, garbage out problem, right? Like spam and everything like that. Like for some way for Facebook to pay me, we eventually do need some way to have like proof of human, not bots. And we could still do that without giving up our identity with synonymousness using blockchain. So we need those IoT devices to kind of do that middleman blockage where it's like, yeah, I'm an actual person, I'm not a bot. And you don't need to know anything else beyond that with everything I'm engaging in. And that way I can actually earn by doing things like using Brave Browser and Clear.
Right. And one of the biggest things that they also have, so because they work off of Android, but they have their own physical operating system themselves. So they have their own dedicated apps, but you can also go on the Google Play Store and download any apps that you want. So the benefit of the privacy of this is really that, let's say you went into Facebook or something like that on your standard phones. Mm-hmm. It would track you. It would say, oh, if you were talking about pants, all of a sudden you'd see something on pants that comes up on Facebook and you're like, what the hell? Like I was talking about pants, but I didn't tell anybody on Facebook I was talking about pants, right? So, but with this, it knows what you're doing. Obviously, if you downloaded Facebook and you went to use Facebook, it will know what you're doing inside of the app itself. Yes, because that's just the way it is. But as soon as you leave Facebook, they can't track you in any way, shape, or form. And that's where the benefit really comes in here. And so that's what really makes this something incredible. And on top of that, they're coming out with something called Clear Community, which is going to be a totally decentralized social platform, just that's really like Facebook, but totally different. That's going to be so much better and a game changer.
Oh, wow. Do dApps run natively on the Clear devices?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it supports like Web 3.0 and stuff like that natively.
Right.
Badass. All right, yeah. Since I guess they're dual OSing, right? They have 2 operating systems, their own and the Android one.
Correct. Exactly.
Do they have? Is there a version? Because I showed you this off air a little bit ago. This is something similar to what we're talking about with Clear, except this just stopped working, so we won't get into it. But it has a hardware wallet built into it. It's a separate little device, and it doesn't share anything but a battery, so it can't really be hacked through the phone. if it worked. But does Clear have like a hardware wallet or something like that, or anything that they're doing with maybe air gap devices? I'm just curious.
So they have an ability for you to actually have your own Clear wallet, but it's not like what you just showed me. It's not like it's built into the phone itself. So it's not a physical, actual, hard wallet like that. But it is essentially really a cold storage wallet.
Okay.
But at the same time, with their own encryption, everything else that goes with that. So the Clear token, actually, when Michael comes on, that's probably one thing that he can talk about a bit more, because that hasn't really been revealed as much, but we all know where it's going. Now you have to keep in mind, this company officially does not launch until March 1st of 2021.
Gotcha.
So there's still a bit of time, and they have a huge something called Inevitable Summit, which is going to be happening between February 26th to 28th, and you're going to have Brittany Kaiser speaking there. They're going to have, they're attempting to get Charles Hodgkinson there, Tim Draper, and a whole bunch of people that are well known in the cryptocurrency space to actually speak there. And who knows, and Ken, maybe you could speak there too.
I'm not much of a speaker. I like roundtables though. I'm huge on that, man. Whenever there's a conference that needs the filibuster, they've always hit me up, and I'm like, let me grab 3 of my guys I know or girls I know from crypto Twitter that are here, and we could do a panel right now. I love roundtables.
Well, this isn't in person. This is all virtual.
Right, but still, virtual keynoting. I can't even do a YouTube video like that. Like, I can't do monologue videos. It's weird. You know what I mean?
That's not good.
Yeah, but I enjoy chatting with people. So if they're doing an event, I'd be happy to maybe even interview one of the speakers. I could ask Brittany some cool questions. I just interviewed her recently, and a couple. Vesa was on with her, and one or two of her other friends. I can't remember at the moment. I'm sorry, but we were talking about the whole Cambridge Analytica thing and everything.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this question. Since you've been in crypto since what year?
Same around you, about 2015. The end of 2015, I got my first Bitcoin. And the beginning of the year, January 2016, I decided I should probably start talking about this.
So let me ask you this question. So of what you've seen now in the space in the past roughly 5 years, like what have you seen as, what do you think the catalyst is going to be for Bitcoin, for all cryptocurrencies to actually have this huge movement forward, where it's not going to be 4 or 5% of the world that we're actually influencing, but maybe 10% or more of the world that we're influencing?
That's the necessity. I mean, the world itself is setting its own position that it needs something like cryptocurrency. No matter what the nation, from developing countries to the United States right now with the whole stop the steal debate with its own presidential election, we're starting to see all nations kind of pivot away from their nation issue currencies and opt into either gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. So I don't know if it's really so matter as much as like what crypto has to do anything, rather than just wait and be here, because the world itself is kind of falling apart, and we know that these lifeboats all exist, whether it's Bitcoin or Doge. That's totally optional, but depending on which lifeboat you want to jump in, they are readily available. Hey, there we go, Michael's here.
Oh, awesome. There he is. I'll let him connect.
It should pop up. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how goes it?
Life is good. How are you?
I'm well, enjoying the day. Happy New Year.
Likewise. I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to make sure that I joined, since I was told that this is urgent or important.
Appreciate it. I guess I'll dive right into first question is, what kind of inspired this? Was there a personal event that was, now this is kind of like a vendetta against the big industries, that someone stole your data and used it against you, or
No, not at all. No.
So no Batman like origin story for Clear.
No, I think it's real simple. I think it goes back even further than that. It goes back to the purpose of why we're here. It's choice. And with technology as it is today, there's no choice. There's no...
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, they got a monopoly on data, that's for sure.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of corporations or governments, even though they want to put themselves in between. But it's a matter of if people so choose to connect to something that's not them. I don't care if you call it universe or God or Elohim or Buddha or Muhammad. They should be able to do that. And the ability to self-govern one's drivers, drivers is only a piece of it, but to really self-govern one's life. And then for mankind to be organized in such a way where we actually, we can use data to the benefit of future generations. I mean, that's just so massively important. It's not just around, I think a lot of people, when they think about decentralization, they automatically go to the word blockchain or cryptocurrency. Well, that's just one use case around decentralized currency, right? We all tie it to value because that's how we can actually go and get things done. But the bottom line is we've been involved with that world. So crypto and block and even creating that logo behind your head there, that Bitcoin mark. I mean, we've been involved in that well over a decade. So it's a matter of how do we look at what's been learned over the last decade, particularly with Bitcoin, but get it so that mankind can easily adopt it and utilize it for the masses. And they get their own identity back and their own data back if they so choose. So it's really, the vendetta is around irresponsible systems and processes and structures. So for instance, the internet was created from the National Science Foundation loans and monies from government, particularly around war realities.
Yeah, military creation.
Mm-hmm. And if you really are honest about that, this is a war. We're at war. Whether we realize it or not, we're at a currency war, we're at a trade war, and I believe we'll be at a physical war. And if we don't organize ourselves and align ourselves with systems that we can truly stand on when it comes time to communicate, lives will be lost. Systems will be lost. Memories will be lost. Knowledge will be lost, especially in the data world. There's languages for indigenous communities that are just disappearing because generations don't remember. Our generation, everybody on this call today, I'd say you probably go back into the Vietnam world. You remember those days. You remember, I mean, but we don't understand real war. Iraq and Afghanistan was not real war, not compared to the next war that's coming. And this stuff is real. These are real consequences for us not acting and being organized and accountable and caring and serving and loving. So does that answer your question?
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt you. It was amazing.
No, that's basically it. So I think it's a good question. It's real. I mean, what's the freaking purpose? It's a good question.
So you mentioned something I wanted to touch on where you say, this can actually benefit. I wanted to see where's the decentralization of data benefit, people or society more so than centralized data that we're already using today.
One, decentralization is a true and correct principle, period. Look up and look down and you'll see it. Universe and cells and other things like that. I promise you, it's a decentralization is an imperative law and principle. But other than that, centralized systems always gravitate to controlling others. I mean, our forefathers came to America to create a land that was free and where we had liberties and rights. And I would argue with you the majority of those liberties and rights have already been stripped and we don't even understand how or why or even care. Next generations, I was in a pitch like 5 months ago and these are very educated people. She was like, I don't care. I like the systems. I would never buy something like that. And I said, I talked a little bit about it. And one of the other persons in the room was like, this is the only thing I want to roll out to my family and my kids. And I think the difference is the paradigm around different parts of life, because some of us live life where we're just kind of caring about ourselves, but there's a point where we care about others.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that when we start caring about others and uniting together, the importance of those liberties and freedoms that our forefathers stood for, the taxation stuff, the basic liberties, property rights, a legal process, all those things have just gradually been stripped from us. And I guess it's not just over my dead body, but over many dead bodies. Will that continue if we die like that and the next generations have systems, financial systems and online systems that are, is that a tattoo of Decred?
Yeah, I got a few actually.
Oh my God.
I got Decred dash.
Yeah.
I got my Monero tattoo with Fluffy Pony in Vegas a few years ago. I got this one with Charlie Lee. This is my first Bitcoin wallet. I got a Bitcoin bicep, and I got the Bitcoin chest.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get a better picture of that. That's the fun. Oh, gosh.
It's the Bitcoin Superman logo. I was here to save the dip. I got this around like 3K when it really dipped or something. Maybe, I don't know. Now, I think the tattoo worked is what I'm saying.
That is too funny. That is.
I went all in on this when it was like $400, man. I quit my day job a few years ago. I was fixing phones for almost a decade, and I never really looked back. This is sort of like a religion for me, man. I believe in decentralization. I believe in.
So you asked me a question that you already knew the answer.
Oh, I'm playing devil's advocate for the sake of the listener. You know what I mean? It's not for me; it's for them. But I'm curious about the utility of the Clear token. Peter mentioned earlier. I was curious how that would roll into the device itself, the physical or the maybe like the protocol layer. Is there anything happening on that back end with the token or the currency?
Oh yeah, there's a ton happening. A ton. It's been happening for many years. There's actually a couple things you can read up on it if you want to really understand it. But as a matter of fact, I can send you over the area to go do it. But
yeah, I'll put it in the description box for the listeners. They can check it out below.
When you say listeners, is this being recorded?
Oh yeah, we're live. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I thought Peter told you.
I didn't know. It's all good. It's all good. So there's basically two different parts. So you've got one that is Clear Rewards, which is going to be issued from Clear United, and then the historical Clear token, which was issued from Clear Foundation. And the combination of those two, right now we've only issued about 13.5, almost 14%. And that's happened since February 6th of 2018. So there's been, or 17. There's been basically a seeding of Clear. So there's certain folks that can actually use it, adopt it, spend it, trade it. And the protocol layer, it basically will be, imagine a wallet that ties to the phone based upon disseminated credentials. So when you get a phone, right, you get one of these phones, you get you know how it goes.
It comes with its own salt.
Yeah, you got it. It comes with its own key, master private key, that then has derived keys that tie to every other thing in your life. Your data, it can even tie to all your Google information, all your Facebook information, all your wallets, all of your logins, all your applications. And when you use that to rebuild a phone, all that stuff comes back. But it also ties to your assets. So commodities, equities, currencies, and currencies could be different cryptos, it could be different fiats. But imagine a ClearPay wallet where you could actually, just by us having this conversation, you snagging a referral code, and you're saying, hey, we really like this 420 phone or this 620 phone, use this referral code.
Well, you had me at 420.
Hey, don't go there. But the bottom line is you basically have a URL that you send to folks, and when they use that URL to purchase, it's like 4 clicks, right? Then they automatically get signed up for Clear United as a member, and that membership is very key. Then they get put inside of your circles, which is very key, and you get paid for what they actually spend. 40% of everything that comes in every single month will basically be spent. So, cell service, health service, support services, as well as hardware, software, and services all around that phone. So the world that you come out of in the phone world, imagine being able to amass a decentralized system that now gives people not only the privacy around where they're going online or what they're doing online, but how they're calling online and how they're sharing online. And like a call just like this, how can it be private to us? But you always have that data. And if someone wants it, you can share it, but you can always take it back. So the combination of all of that stuff, but tied into basically sharing with a real-time wallet that has decentralized currency, Clear, at the core of it. And it doesn't matter if you're holding Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ripple or Stellar or whatever you like, Ethereum, whatever. You can basically transact into those assets, but you can also transact into any real world equity, commodity, or currency in real time and hold them in that wallet that then ties to your 12 words or a derived vision of it. So what that does is it makes it so the real target audience is like a mother at home. You know, she wants to make sure that her kids or her family are all safe online. And whether that's you're using applications or you're using websites or you're using currency, and the kids should also be able to literally, a mom should be able to go to her kids and say, you know, tell your friends about this and drop some money onto this card for you. I don't know where my cards are at. But basically, just like a normal credit card, it just drops onto it, but it interacts with that. So all of us are aware of Venmo or Cash App or, you know, the future of these systems that are basically real-time money. And that's what Clear represents. Clear, this mark actually represents a ability to transact. So it's not just a decentralized currency, but imagine a decentralized community that replaces Facebook.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're making hardware wallets obsolete, honestly. I'm starting to think of less and less reasons why I should ever buy another hardware wallet.
But we don't want to kill industries, but I'll tell you what, we want to compete with the existing big tech, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Microsofts. I won't mention a couple other unique names because we haven't gone there. But the point is we really believe that we can compete with a decentralized model that organizes mankind in such a way where literally you don't need any of those organizations anymore. And you actually get your privacy and your data back. And instead of in the past where, like I've been in technology since 92, and we used to help companies actually set up systems, mail systems, file systems, print systems, that would track contacts and applications or agreements or whatever their business use case was, and they would pay for those systems. And now today, people don't pay for those systems, contact, calendar, messaging. Why? Because we're the product and people monetize us to get paid, right? But tomorrow, imagine a phone that actually pays you not only to tell people about it, and you get a card with it at the same time. So here's an example. So literally the phone would come like this. You know, it comes with an actual card. So you get the phone, you refer, and then you get the card and you actually make it, but it's real time. When someone purchases a phone that you or someone in your circles referred, you automatically get Clear onto that phone. And then you can convert that Clear in any time into any other commodity, asset, or currency. Or you can just grab it, go spend it at your supermarket or whatever you want to do with it. So the point being is it takes those barriers where mankind was able to take Bitcoin and say, yes, there's a litmus test where we can actually use a decentralized system to literally prove that cryptography works, that numbers and math actually work, and other organizations can't break them with this type of compute or this type of time. It works, period. So the last 10, 15, 11 years have been a litmus test with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a solid savings account.
Can I get one of those devices today? Are they already shipping out?
Yeah, you can buy it right now. It'll ship out today. Order it today. Ship out.
Okay. All right, cool. No, I definitely want to check that out. Again, no pun intended, but the 421, I just have to. It's too funny not to. This is right up my alley.
So if you like the smaller size, the 420 is definitely for you. But there's the difference between the 620.
Yeah, that is a pocket. That is a whole pocket right there on that big one.
You'll love the weight of these phones. They're made out of composite, which makes them super light. So even with a big fat phone like this, you don't feel like it's heavy.
I was just going to ask you about the chipset. Is it built and assembled U.S., or is it encrypted down to the BIOS chip level, like physical encryption, or is it more so just at the software level?
So there's both. So you basically have hardware encryption and software encryption, and the software is rebuilt in such a way where it doesn't tie back to centralized systems. So answer the first part of your question. First off, the Clear companies, there's a history you need to understand. One of the companies is Clear Cellular, which is domiciled out of New Zealand. It's domiciled there because we actually buy parts and pieces from different parts of the world. So for instance, cameras from Japan, screens from South Korea, batteries also from elements of there as well as China, PCB boards and other components, fingerprints, sensors, scanners, other elements, and assembly are all at China. There's also some key elements with India, but it's all domiciled out of New Zealand, which procures it, and then we basically can distribute it around the world. Okay. We believe that trade, remember, we're at war. One of the wars is trade, period. And so the reason I just talked about where we get all the components from and how it's sourced is, does anybody in the United States of America really make a phone?
No.
Really?
Yeah. No, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, and that's why I brought up the whole encryption out to the board level at the BIOS or something like that, because I think Samsung uses, what, Knox now?
Well, HTC is a leader in it, to be honest with you. HTC, and I believe that, and you can even go back 10 years ago, I can show you a photo. If you go onto if you follow me on Facebook, there's a couple links. Every week I'll post on new photos. And then there's one big photo library for the last 10 plus years. And you can see inside of that where HTC, Google, and T-Mobile launched a phone. But before that, we were actually building a phone similar to what we're talking about. And when they launched that phone, we literally said, we're going to focus on the decentralized storage side of this instead of the decentralized phone. So Google did some amazing things with Android over the years. I mean, just amazing. But it's all based on centralized systems. Mm-hmm. So we created the Clear Foundation in 2009, which is based out of New Zealand, that focuses on three things that are open-based. One, open source software. No one owns it. No one controls it. We all benefit from it. We all share from it. Future generations.
Oh, wow. Respect.
Right? But back in 2009, people were shunned and called stupid for focusing on open source anything. Right? It was a cancer. It was a devil. It would kill innovation. No, it actually drives innovation.
Didn't Linux come out of New Zealand? Like a 15-year-old kid in New Zealand or something made Linux?
Nah, I won't go down that road. It's a different conversation. But New Zealand was very friendly for open source. So there are no software patents in the country. And the copyright or trademark stuff is very strong. And so Clear Foundation is based out of there, focused on open source software. And what we do is intelligently organize open source software with open standards-based hardware. So when you combine open standards-based hardware at the phone layer, or even at the device layer, I don't know if you can see all the way across the room, but those are storage systems. So when HTC and Google and T-Mobile launched this new G1, we literally started focusing on the storage side of the world.
Yeah, Peter sent me about a 2-minute video earlier, and I thought that thing was pretty badass.
These things, this is not our design internally, but we purchased a company that designed it. And they did an amazing job, and I absolutely believe it's the future for homes. There's bigger units, and even bigger units than that tie for similar outfits like what people do with mining. But instead of the world using Bitcoin and not knowing who created it or how it's supposed to be deployed and all the noise that ties to it, imagine a brand like Bitcoin built around Clear, but the world actually has some structure, some guidance, and some accountability that's tied to it. So for instance, what if there was some guidance? Well, let me ask you this. You freaking got Bitcoin tattooed on you. Who created that?
No, I don't know. I think I met them. I've been to a few conconferences, but I'm not.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Right. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I totally don't know. It's
nebulous because the threat of liability of centralized systems crucifying the folks that actually, there's a ton of logic and a ton of organization and intelligence that went into launching that. But literally, look at what's happened to Assange or to Snowden. or some of these other people that, in my opinion, are absolute heroes. Absolute heroes. They should be famed for dedicating their life and in committing to truth. And ultimately, all Clear's about is truth and physics. And decentralization is a true physics principle, period. Now, how does this earth turn? How does this universe work? When we really start opening, and our eyes only see certain pieces of it, it's just in the last couple of years when telescopes can actually start showing us more. But the point being is, decentralization is truly a principle that is truth. And when we apply that to certain use cases that man uses, you know, some people in the crypto world are like, I like it for investment or asset protection or speculation. But a mom will like it for many other reasons that are different. But I promise you, we all got moms, and we all, one way or another, whether we care about them or we don't. But the net, we only got 13 minutes before the next meeting, but the net is mothers, matriarchs are what drives society, whether we're willing to admit it or not. Most of us men that care about anything, and that's why Peter, when I didn't know Peter from Adam, and he friended me on Facebook. We had real quick dialogue. I watched one video on his stream, and he was singing a song, a Christmas song, with his own voice that he used to sing with his mom that just passed away. And Peter doesn't know me from Adam, but there'll be a day where we'll hug, we'll shake hands, we'll look into each other's eyes, and we'll continue to serve together because of mothers. And it's these mothers that need tools. They need choice to be able to say, I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a cousin, I don't care, but a mother should be able to literally tap the phone and be able to take her decentralized master private key and automatically convert that into a derived key for her child. And then all the apps, all the passwords, all the sites, she can control from her phone, as well as wallets. She can literally send them money. So why can't a 12-year-old have a credit card and go to high school? And literally, they automatically get money based upon their parents' credentials.
I love that you brought that up because I wanted to touch on that, and I think that's what these devices are going to make possible. You know, like my nephew's mother hates me because I've given him crypto. I show him how to use Bitcoin. He can go online and just buy shit on Amazon because he has Bitcoin. He has a bank account essentially, and he's only like 6 years old. You know, so she hates that like random shit shows up at the doorstep because he buys it. But he's learning so much earlier how to do commerce than the people, his peers. By the time he's 18, he won't need a bank account because he's already had one for 10 years.
Well, first off, the banking system's another conversation. That's the second part of the irresponsibly deployment. That's a whole other conversation. But to your point around you getting this for was it your nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if your mom or his mom, your sister, could actually see where he goes, what he does, how he does it, but he's got the freedom to go do it now. He can do anything he wants to. He wants to go look at XYZ, some boobies or whatever. He can go do it. But the ability for transparency and honesty to be traversed from the physical world and the digital world to come together through a simple, literally, and this is how they actually work. You got a child and a parent, you just tap them. And it automatically takes the key from here at setup and puts it on here, and it derives it. It's done.
That's pretty seamless. It's
super, super slick. And the minds behind it are just amazing. And let me be real clear. By the way, what is your name?
Oh, hi, by the way. I'm Ken Bosak. Hi. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Stat. So, Ken, it's really brought together by a ton of people just like you, just like Peter, just like Scott, just like we're all together in our own way of adding value. For instance, you're a voice. Peter's a maven, a connector. So is Scott. You know, I've got skills to be able to see how things come together. If you look at my office, I got these freaking walls full of just connections. And then once we build it, we erase it and we move to the next one. But the point is we all have skills in how do we work together in a decentralized fashion. We're not that top-down corporate approach where one dictates to others what to do, how to do. We come up with one goal every year in October for the next year. And then every single individual and department has objectives, lead measures and lag measures that they're measured to 1 hour a week. And it just so happens in 9 minutes is when we kick that thing off.
Oh.
Worldwide, we all get on and we do a report out. And that's it. One meeting a week that ties to one goal a year. And that's how we get organized to be able to do disruptive things. And when you back up and look over the last decade, we've already done some crazy stuff. Like these systems over here, 450,000 of these things deployed in the world. This is an x86 based system. We built ClearOS server to run it. And the biggest server manufacturers in the world all use this software. The number one pre-installs it on their server. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise pre-installs ClearOS server on all of its servers worldwide, both Gen 9 and Gen 10. That's like spanning 6-7 years worth of servers. Okay? But it's decentralized storage instead of energy.
Right, and well, that's a hedge for them too, man. That's definitely a hedge for them. What I think really cool what Clear is doing is it's giving the customers an opportunity to opt in to the employee role, and I think more businesses are going to have that model built in where they figured out how a way to incentivize, monetize, and gamify the model. And I looked at Peter's thing. He's like number 4 on the referral program. Congrats to like 2,000 on-ramps, which is pretty badass. And that's just going from customer opt-in to that, sort of, just entrepreneurial employment opportunity where there is a way to earn just by being a user of something.
It goes even bigger than that. Employer-employee relationships are a form of slavery. A form of slavery. Government and citizen relationships are a form of slavery as well. But when you have leadership that understands what it's like to lead and to serve, there's no one that's a slave. When people opt in, and that is what open source software is intended to be about. Because open source software was actually built by a lot of people that are actually on the clock for some company that they put a badge on. But that code actually gets shared with others.
IoT will make all this obsolete. For now, we kind of need the janitors of the world, but eventually, the cashiers at McDonald's losing their jobs to machines, that's not a bad thing. It's one less, slave trade that you have to perform after high school. And I think we're seeing, the IoT be able to do that. Because, I don't know if you've seen this, but you can get a device from Google today, plug it into your router, and they'll give you like $200 a month just to have that data. You get like $200 a month. My brother had it until we moved in together and got rid of that shit. But even Google will pay you hundreds of dollars a month to get your data from your router. More and more IoT gets involved in this. It's going to, incentivize less and less necessity for that minimum wage world. More people are going to have abilities for passive income just from using their damn Clear phone than they would at a McDonald's job.
Oh, if you only understood and saw the whole model, you would absolutely just slobber. Because the points that you're understanding with IoT and data are true and correct. And you're absolutely right. 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, data, run it whenever you got to. Just hang up, man. I'm a hostage of conversation.
Data is the goal of the future.
Yeah.
Mike, not to interrupt you, but the one thing that Ken doesn't know about and the listeners don't know about, if I know you have 5 minutes, but if you could briefly touch on Clear Med, because that's a whole nother, I know it's like more than a 5 minute conversation, but if you could briefly touch on that so they can understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, so think about us as individuals. We have a lot of data that's floating out there about us, whether it's financial data, maybe it's reputation data, maybe it's credit score, maybe it's who we are, where we go, what we do, what we search, what we listen to, what we send, what we question. But ultimately, there's things that, and systems, kind of like this right here, okay? Or things like this. By the way, I've got my ring on my truck.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that watch.
Well, there's even some cooler stuff than that.
Yeah, I heard a mumble ring. I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it's hidden. Actually, maybe
I know you're busy, man. If you ever want to reschedule, kenbosak.com, I have a calendar that anybody can book at their convenience. Absolutely.
You're going to know when to connect and how to connect, and just know that, Ken, I'm here whenever you want. You know, it's Peter knows how to get on the schedule, and I really am open, but I just try and keep a disciplined structure to it. Like today, we found out like there's 3 people flying in just because they knew that someone else had time, so they're flying in, and the meeting's going to go from an hour. I know it'll go longer, but the bottom line is we're here to teach, you know, what we've been doing, and then allowing voices like yours to go out and tell the world, and then make a booty load of money on it. The biggest industries, I mean, most of the folks like Peter have been used to selling lotion, potions, you know, whatever kind of gadgets, but they're never touched in the biggest market in the world, and this is to Peter's point, is health. Whether we realize it or not, health is the #1 largest spending market in the world. Every human on this earth spends $135 US per month on their health. Whether you live in Cambodia, in the garbage fields, or Beverly Hills in the freaking whatever ritzy prissy thing they think they got. We all spend on average $135, today's value of money. That's a massive market. That's bigger than advertising. That's bigger than communications. But we wrap advertising, communication, and health into one market, in one device, in one phone. Because why? Because decentralized is a true and correct principle. You know it. That's why you got it tattooed all over your body. It really, really is. Now, clear, I don't want it on your forehead or your cheek, but I want it on your left cheek.
I got a big old bushy beard.
Even better. I guess my point is it's not something that needs to be seen, but the world needs to use it and adopt it and feel it. I mean, it needs to be real. It needs to be. The other thing is it's got to be communicated accurately. You know, the things that Peter's doing. Thank you. Did you find it? Oh, no. It's okay. It's actually the ring is actually in there, but it's okay. Thanks for trying. The things that Peter is understanding, and just from me listening to him, he's done a lot of research, but we just need to make sure, and this is primarily Myers' responsibility, we've got to make sure that people know and understand truth. We can't talk about specs that are not accurate. We cannot talk about expectations that are not true. And so it's my job to make sure that people understand where are the borders, where are the guidelines, so that we're truthful and honest in the expectations we're setting. I promise you, this phone will compete with any Google phone that's out there today and any Apple phone that's out there today. Some of the things that people love the most about it are screens, batteries, and cameras, right? But what they don't really understand is the software that's behind it that centralizes or decentralizes their experience. And yeah, the hardware will compete with everybody.
It's 1
and
o'clock.
If anything, I believe we can even over-innovate them.
Well, I'm a bit of a phone junkie.
Yeah, baby. Hey, those are some good ones too. Well done. We'll get you out of clear phone.
I got the Finny phone here that just stopped working by Siren Labs. Siren Labs asked me to mail them this phone so they can fix it. When I used to repair phones, I could micro solder. I could fix this. So I asked them for the parts. I can't mail them this phone. I can't reset it.
What's the problem with it?
It just the LCD. I think in the digitizer, I think the ribbon cable either got cracked sometimes because there's a slide.
That's one thing you're gonna love with our stuff is we understand economies of scale, standardization, and this isn't our first rodeo.
I was just going to ask. I mean, not to waste time. I know you're really busy, so if I had more time to bullshit, I would have Can I order parts for this if my screen cracks? Will you just, can I just get a screen and fix it myself?
We'll send you a brand new one.
All right.
And you just throw your words in and you're back up. Welcome
Good point.
to the world.
Good point, man. It was very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for taking time to come on today. I'm definitely going to reach out and see if I can get a one-on-one with you so we get a full hour in. Appreciate your time.
That sounds great. Thanks, guys. And let's include Peter on that one-on-one since he connected us up, yeah?
For sure.
Okay. Talk to you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Peter, I wanted to ask, man, how did you get involved with the referral program on this? So if people are listening and they wanted to pick up a phone, maybe they can go through you to grab that. But then how do they go about helping their friends get in, and what does that entail?
Well, essentially what they can do is, the best thing about this program, besides everything that Michael has actually spoken about, and just so you guys are aware, some of you guys are listening that maybe you didn't know, Michael Proper is the CEO of Clear. But the thing is this, basically. So for anyone, whether you are an affiliate marketer, whether you're not a marketer, whether you have connections, you don't have connections, it doesn't matter. Anybody can actually join Clear for free. So you get an affiliate link to join, and then you join up. And let's just say...
Oh, shit. So you don't even have to buy a phone. You can literally earn your phone.
Correct.
That's gangster. All right, that's really cool. I like that. I mean, dude, I tell people all the time, probably don't buy Bitcoin, but here's 100 ways you can earn some. And that's a really cool thing, that people can actually earn a Clear device.
Exactly. And, you're essentially getting 10%. So when you sell a phone to someone, let's say you sold them $620. $620 is $1,089. You're getting $108. You never have to buy that phone. That's $108 you never had before.
Oh, so you can just withdraw that. You don't have to put that towards a phone yourself through the referral program.
No.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm a person of product, right? So if I have a substantial, team like I do now, obviously I'm going to make sure that I want to get that phone, because I want to get the phone. I want to make sure I do a full video on it. In fact, my phone comes today. So I'll have my phone today, and I'll be doing a video on it within the next couple of days. So yeah, it's an incredible company. You can tell Michael's a really solid guy. He has a great fundamental understanding of decentralization. He's been in the industry for a long period of time, and it's a pleasure to work with him.
It seems really smart. I like the way he talks about the industry. He's obviously very passionate, and that's what's most important. Is people that actually give a shit. It's rare. It's rare to see, and it seems like he's advocate about it, and I think that's why I don't know. I want to check it out myself just to see how it works along the lines of being a dual OS, playing around with some dApps. I mean, I'm not really big on like cameras and selfies or something, but like battery life's pretty important. Other than that, who cares? But I wanted to just check it out as far as being a daily driver for a crypto user. Like, do I need to take my other phones with me, or do I need to bring a hardware wallet, or is this something that can just be my all-in-one? Just like I don't need to bring an MP3 player anymore when I take my phone with me. Why would I need to bring a Treasure or a Ledger when I take my phone with me?
Yeah, the way that they are designing it essentially is kind of like that. So really, this is really being created to be an all-in-one.
Yeah, I'm interested to see some of the partnerships that would come out of this, because it would make sense to see like Ledger or Treasure or KeepKey or one of these brands to try and get like a theme or a model or a skin on a Clear device, because it's basically a hardware wallet. And I've said this for a while. The mobile devices will definitely take over, the hardware wallet industry. And then we have the wallets themselves on the devices that will take over the exchanges. Exchanges right now are great and all, but wallets are becoming exchanges with all the tools that are being built right now. Why would I ever need to use Coinbase when there's Uniswap or X, Y, and Z? I mean, I fill in the blank with something better.
Don't say the word. Don't say the word.
Right. So, I mean, more and more people are using their phones and their wallets, and that's about it. And I think, having extra accessories like a hardware wallet and using an exchange is about as cumbersome as having a Kodak disposable camera and going to a 1 hour photo.
Exactly.
Man, I appreciate your time, dude. Where can people get in touch with you? Maybe get some of your help if they want to get involved with Clear and get on your level.
Yeah, the easiest way to actually get in touch with me is really on Facebook. That's where I do most of my communication. I mean, I have Telegram as well. I have a Twitter, but I'm not as active. It's funny. I've never been really active on Twitter. And everyone's like, how are you in crypto and you're not on Twitter, dude?
It must be hard, dude. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's the secret sauce. So if you got into Twitter, even with a third of the amount of effort you put into Facebook, you'd be like, oh shit. You would take over. Like, it's really a secret sauce for a lot of the people that use Facebook majoritively for their crypto communities. But I see your Facebook community growing and growing and growing over the years, man. And it's because you have, the legacy. Yeah, you have good legacy in the space, and that's what kind of got me interested in Clear more and more as you kept talking about it throughout the weeks. I'm just like, this is really cool. You said you're getting your phone today. I was like, all right, well, he's definitely going to be able to show me what's up once he gets it today. So maybe, like I said, I'm probably going to pick one up because I have a bunch of phones. I'm a nerd for gizmos and gadgets, so I definitely want to check it out just out of the curiosity of it having a dual OS. Again, like, that's pretty cool.
No, definitely, bro. Yeah. No, I'm really excited to be on your show again. It's great for us to work together. We met up in AC at that one conference so long ago. It feels like it was like 10 years ago. It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Right. I think it was like 3 years ago at this point now.
Yeah,
dude, it was a while back. And that was an okay event only because, like, I think the biggest speaker there was the dude from Overstock. What was that?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
Richard or something? Dr. Patrick Bjorn or something like that? I don't know. But that was cool. I got to run into the dude from Overstock, and I asked him, I was like, so what's the most sold item on Overstock for Bitcoin? And you know what he said?
No.
Bed sheets. I don't know if he was trolling me or not, but I've always wondered about that ever since. Like, why?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why bed sheets? It's so weird. Anyway, Peter, I'll let you get going, bro. This was a lot of fun, man. We'll definitely have to do this again. You have the link to the calendar, man. Feel free to abuse it. Schedule whenever you want. Again, this was really fun. I definitely want to check out the Clear stuff because I seen your results through the referral program, which I think is cool. And in general, like, outside of the Clear service, I mean, just the device itself where I could pop in a SIM card from, like, Verizon, or just do what I've been doing. I don't pay a phone bill. I just use phones, and that's it. I have cars without, paying insurance, or I guess I shouldn't say that. It's not the same, whatever, you know what I mean. I don't like to spend extra things on stuff, so I think just having a phone and playing with it on Wi-Fi is enough. And the money I save not paying a phone bill, it pays for the phone itself in a year every time, No,
that's really cool. It's funny because the one thing I wanted Michael to touch on, but I know he didn't have time, but this is really important. What I wanted him to touch on with Clear Med is essentially, and I'll say this in a matter of like 2 or 3 minutes, but basically it's like this. So if you buy the phone plan is the phone plan, right? You're getting the phone, we were talking about Netflix for free for 2 years with their highest plan. But in addition to that, you can pay, if you're in the United States right now, you can pay an extra $30 a month and you get full access to Clear Med. Now, Clear Med gives you 24/7 access to an internist, a dermatologist, and a mental therapist.
Huh.
So all of that, and a prescription service. So all of that for $30 a month. If you literally, here's the other thing, you never have to pay insurance on the phone. So with Apple, if someone goes, okay, through iOS, they're like, all right, I'm going to pay $15 a month for my insurance, God forbid, then I have to pay the deductible. You don't have to do that through this service at all. That's included. And you're getting a refurbished phone from like Apple. If you pay an iPhone, it's refurbished. You've been in the phone industry, it's refurbished.
Every time somebody says I got a new phone, when you broke your screen, never once, not one time. I don't care who you are. It was always refurbished.
Exactly. But with this, you're getting a brand new phone. And then all you got to do is enter your 12 words and you're back in, and it loads up all your data just like you never even lost it or broke it or whatever.
It's pretty cool that they're able to do that with currency and my data at the same time, where it's like right now people are used to this with their Google account, right? Like, or Samsung or iOS cloud, where it's like, I broke my phone, I get a new one, I log in with the iOS, I log in with Apple Cloud, or I log in with like Google Cloud, and there goes all my data. But what if something happened to that cloud because it is centralized? Like that is the risk to that. But that purpose is still, people use that. They're aware of it. So I think this is an easy on-ramp. It's super intuitive.
Oh, yeah. Now I have a 12 Pro Max. That's the phone that I have right now, right? So I'm an Apple user, but not anymore. But I'm an Apple user, right? So on the back of my phone is not a fingerprint scan. However, on the back of a Clear phone is a fingerprint scan, which is attached to 500 points on your face.
Yeah, they're using biometric encryption on top of the other encryption, which is the key generated when you get it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're using 4-factor. Now the best thing
about 4-factor, that's funny.
Right. The best thing about that is you're also able to do, with the biometrics, you're able to do body scans. So you're able to do diastolic, systolic pressure, oxygen that's coming from your brain. So God forbid if something's going to happen to you, if somebody's going to go into a stroke or something like that, you're actually going to know it first from your phone because it's going to tell you exactly what's going on. So that is another huge element that this phone brings to the table that no other phone has out there, because it does a lot more than just that. So dude, it's a phenomenal phone. Really.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out more for sure, man. I've definitely piqued my interest. So I appreciate you for bringing it to my attention, man. Like, seriously, thank you.
No doubt. Anytime.
All right, guys. Thanks for everybody watching live. If you're watching, don't forget like and comment for your chance to win some Bitcoin. Every day somebody wins. Could be your chance. And as always, have a day.
Bye, guys.
There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. Coin flip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenient store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech, or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.